Hey guys, today I'm going to focus on lighting techniques. We're going to take a look at a new light from Zhiyun, the B500, and talk about why more powerful lights are really handy for certain techniques. Hopefully I can show you a little bit into my thought process when I'm lighting and try some new things. As always, drop in the comments some questions and ideas that you might have for lighting miniatures. Let's get into it. So this is the Zhiyun B500. It is a 500 watt bicolor LED light, and it is all in this one package. There's no big power brick that you have to put on the floor or attach to a C-stand. It is all in here, and because of that, obviously you can see most of the unit is a heat sink with fans on it to keep it cool. But it does have the controls to change the brightness, change the color temperature, and it also has a wireless app that is super easy to use. It comes with this basic reflector, like all of the lights that have been shipping these days. It has a small umbrella holder if you want to throw an umbrella on it right away. Basically just a typical LED light, but it's packing 500 watts right into this little package, so it's super easy, super portable to throw quite a bit of light. If you want to know what I think are the pros of this unit, it's absolutely the 500 watts of power packed into this thing, as well as how they've kind of made this all in one package with their cooling technology. You don't need to bring around a huge case full of heavy stuff. It's all in this one light, and it's lighter than a lot of the other similar size light heads that even do have power bricks. Having that bicolor functionality is also great. It's really useful on set or just on the go, so you can be really quick. You don't have to deal with gels. And I think the form factor is just really awesome. There are a couple of cons in my opinion, but I don't think they take away from the light too much. Obviously, it comes in this box. It has some good foam inside, but it's cardboard. There's not a really nice carrying case that it comes with. And obviously, because it's doing all of that cooling in this light head, these fans can get quite loud. You're not gonna wanna put this with a soft box a couple feet away from a subject with an interview setup. You're gonna need it to be a little further away if you wanna get that really crisp audio. But for me, a lot of the time, I'm just shooting miniatures or other types of sets where I'm not recording audio. You can also shoot this through a window outside of a set and obviously not have that problem. And for the price, with what you're getting in this light, it might be worth that extra hurdle. The other con that I had was it only will fit certain accessories. I have this big f10 Fresnel from Aperture. It almost doesn't fit on this light because of the way it's made. The yoke is kind of right at the front of the light here. And so it just about fit this thing, but I couldn't tilt down with it. I was able to use it, but it was pushing it. I'm sure they're coming out with plenty of accessories that'll fit perfectly fine. But if you have accessories from other companies, it may or may not fit. With that being said, I am going to show you in a minute how I use this with that f10 Fresnel to light a miniature in a little more of an unconventional way, using the extra power of this light with the 500 watts to kind of do something unique. All right, so I actually just tapped on that single B500. I decided to try something a little different. It's bouncing off of a couple mirrors and doing a few different things in this room. I'm using that single light. It's bouncing off of two different mirrors to go into the two windows in the miniature. And then another mirror is bouncing it into a reflector over here, which bounces ambient light back into the miniature. Then obviously all of this light spill hitting the wall is filling in some of the room so you can actually see me talking. I saw this a while back on YouTube in terms of just trying to use mirrors and a single light source to do multiple things in a scene. So I wanted to try using that in a miniature and see how it could work. It's good obviously to use a powerful light so that you can do multiple things and still have enough brightness. So the B500 is perfect for that, and I can just kind of dial it in and tap it on and off right from my phone so I can make changes on the fly. So now I'm starting to angle the mirror into that back window. I also add a little bit of miniature foliage in front of it. It gives the light more texture and dims it down a little bit. And this front window already had that with the boards. And the third mirror I'm bouncing into a reflector, and you can just watch as the ambient light level rises entirely. It really brings up the shadows and gives you more detail and more flexibility in post. And so now I'm just adding some fog in there, and you can really see how the light rays are just popping now. So you can see now, especially if I take one of them and move it around a little bit, you can see how it changes and creates just this really nice effect. And this is the final shot from this setup. So this is just one reason why I really like to have more powerful lights on hand so we can do multiple different things. So for really my first time messing around with mirrors and lights and miniatures, that was a lot of fun. Obviously the power of the B500 really helped here. If it was only a 200 watt light or something like that, the individual mirrors might not have been quite powerful enough to expose to the level I wanted, but you could always use larger mirrors, larger lights, move the lights further and back, do a lot of different things to affect your scene. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got the light shooting across me right now, and I'm now catching the beam with this mirror. There's all kinds of things you can do and hide it from your normal shot and potentially even just bounce it across, get a nice hair light on somebody, all kinds of interesting things you can do. And in miniatures, because you have so much control and because of the hard light these mirrors cast, it was really handy in my opinion. Normally, if you're just shooting these giant lights right into the miniature, the light quality isn't that hard. And to get those real nice light streaks, you have to go out of your way to make that light extra hard by maybe not even using a reflector. But these mirrors allow you to change the size and shape and get that hard light to really create some dramatic effects. So I know a lot of you will be asking how this light matches up to things like an Aperture 600D, which is a very similar power range. And obviously, the big difference is it's all in this light instead of having a power brick. So let me grab the 600D out. So I wanted to talk about the differences between the two and what makes this B500 unique. Obviously the 600D is a daylight only light, and even with that, it's more expensive than the B500. And so you're getting the bicolor, you're getting at a better price point, smaller footprint, and at 500 watts, not very different than the light output that this guy can do. I will show on the screen just a quick visual of what the light kind of looks like from both of these and the power of it. But the other differences are the 600D has a little more metal to it. The yoke is very big and strong. The B500 is mostly plastic construction, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like good plastic, but that is a difference. And the yoke feels like it probably couldn't take quite as much weight if you have a really big modifier or something. I'd be a little more worried with the B500. Obviously the aperture light, being metal, has a little more durability to it like that, but the price difference is definitely there. So do I recommend the B500 from Zhiyun over other lights? And I would say absolutely. If you're in that price range and you're looking for a powerful light that you don't mind having a little bit of fan noise. To be honest, it's really, really handy on set in different places where you're on the go. You just need to have a nice powerful light, shoot through a window, light up a room, something like that where it's not imperative that everything is totally quiet. This thing is awesome and powerful for how small it is. The app has also been really easy to use and makes it quick to adjust the light once it's rigged up on a stand somewhere. It's super easy to change the color and the brightness and all that kind of stuff. So thanks again to Zhiyun for sending me the B500. I definitely have some plans to use a couple of these large lights to get a ton of light onto a set and do some things that you normally wouldn't be able to in future projects. So stick around for that. Definitely check the links in the description if you're interested in the B500. And as always, I hope to see you next time for whatever project we cook up. See you guys.